How y'all doing out there, family? Peace and blessings to everyone. Shout out to supporters and subscribers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We here on this beautiful day here chopping it up with the author, philanthropist, my Libra brother. You know, he just dropped another book. He has a series of books, so we his story and his art of writing and things of that nature and where y'all can find this stuff at. So without further ado, my Libra brother, Chris Huffman, Chris and Light.
What's going on, people? Your boy Chris and Light. You know what it is. Out here winning. Out here feeling good today, good brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always a pleasure when I call this man and he always willing to chop it up with me, man, because I just love his perspective and I love his work ethic and I love what he do, man. And, you know, that's just coming from, you know, man of respect, man. I respect the man who handle his business and, you know, as an example and a leader, man. So without further ado, man, let's get into this book, man.
All right, it's over there. The latest book, Divination. It's 300 pages of just goodness. And I wrote this book. This is actually my 8th book. I wrote this book because a lot of people on my YouTube page, The Enlightened Journey, THEE Enlightened Journey, a lot of people ask me, what did I do to gain my perspective and insight on things? And one of the first divinations that I tapped into was numerology. A lot of people start with tarot, astrology, and things like that. But for me, I've always been a numbers man. I love money. I've been a mathematician my whole life. And numerology just resonated with me. And when I started reading about the numbers and how the different numbers resonate within different people depending on their name and when they were born, I realized that there was a pattern. And then I started getting to other divinations like tarot, astrology, and all the other divinations in this book. It's like it's a lot of divination in this book. But once I started to realize they're all linked and they're all like little bitty algorithms that help you win in life. And if you want to win in life, you can only go so far with human effort. Mm-hmm. Everyone that I know been banging at that wall trying to do it alone. They aren't really winning. Mm-hmm. All the real winners are using things that are unseen to win. And all the things that they're doing to win I put in this book. And I made it real easy for everyone to just pick it up.
Right.
You know.
So explain like to the viewers exactly what divination is.
Divination is a broader term for using, I would say, magic.
Okay.
You know, divination, some people, you ever heard of an ancestor altar? Mm-hmm. An ancestor altar is a way for you to tap in and give your ancestors food, libations. You can dissolve their financial karma, your negative financial karma. Astrology is a tool that you can use, like the stars and the planets. You can use them together to get insight on who you are, what your life purpose is, and things like that. In numerology, you can tell your soul urge, your destiny, your gifts. All these things are hidden in divination.
Okay.
Divination is nothing more than a tool that you can use. All these earthly things on this planet, you can use the clouds, thunder, water, cats, you name it, birds, you name it. They're all tools to help you win out here.
Right. That makes sense. So what inspires you before you write a book? Before you, of course, you got the concept, the thought, what you want to write a book. So what's your writing process, and how do you come up with the ideas for your book?
You know, one thing about me is I'm aware of my circadian rhythm.
Okay.
And for me, my circadian rhythm hits me between 10 and 3 p.m.
Okay.
So I use an app called Evernote. Mm-hmm. It's a web-based app. You can download the tool on your phone, or you can just keep it on your computer and it's out in the cloud. So between 10 and 3, my consciousness is open to whatever I receive.
Okay.
And a lot of things that come to me, I don't really think of, but if I'm open, I just write down whatever comes. So in the process of writing one book, I may get downloads for other books that I may be writing in the future.
Okay.
And in this Evernote, whatever I get, I just categorize it in this Evernote. Okay. And it's infinite notes you can have out there. I got about 200-300 notes out there.
Right.
And when I finish one book, I close that note off and I jump on to the next book.
Right.
And while I'm writing that book, I'm also getting downloads for my future books as well.
Gotcha.
So by the time I finish this book, my next book, I've already got like 4 or 5 chapters already lined out.
Okay.
And I just fill in the blanks.
Okay.
But the key to my books is I like to give my books a consciousness.
Right.
Just the same way you impregnate a woman and I have a baby coming, every book is like a baby to me.
Right.
I don't just say I'm writing a book, it'll be out soon. Everything I do, I give a timeline.
Oh, gotcha.
So I tell somebody, even before I'm writing, this is a jewel here. Even before I write and I say, Henry, I got a book coming out in 3 months. Now, how's the book? I mean, I'm about 40 pages in. It's going to be a banger.
Right.
Haven't even started writing. But I use the collective consciousness of everyone else to help my book come to birth.
Okay.
See, I realize nothing exists until you focus on it.
Right.
So if I'm focusing on it, it may come soon.
Right.
But if I get you to focus on it and like 1,000 other people to agree that it's coming, it'll get there much faster.
Right. That makes sense. Because it all starts with a seed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you plant an idea in your head, like you said, and you manifest that idea, you manifest it on the others, and there you go.
That's it. You have to have your thoughts, your speech, and your actions all in alignment. I don't care what you do. If you're physically doing it and talking it, but you're thinking ill of it, it's not going to work. But if you're thinking it's going to be great, you're speaking it's going to be great, and you're physically doing things that's in alignment with your greatness, you can't help but succeed.
Right.
But the biggest thing, your will to succeed needs to be stronger than your will to fail. That's the foundation right there. A lot of people want to do things, but they fight for their limitations. I can't do it. I don't have enough time. I'm not a good writer. I can't spell. We're in 2023. You don't even need to know how to spell. You don't even need to be an eloquent writer these days.
You don't. Everything's at your hand, man. You know what I mean? If you use that device for the right purposes, it could be very beneficial, man. That phone that everybody use, you know, sometimes a lot of people use it for their negative, but I use it for a lot of positive. I use it to support my people. You know what I mean? Like you said, people you say, there's no reason why you say I can't spell this or I can't find this, I can't find it. You have a dictionary, walking dictionary, encyclopedia in your hand at your disposal at all times.
All times.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But the last part is I don't just write a book. I don't sit down and write 300 pages of heat like that. This took time. So every day I try to do something, at least one page. At least one page. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I just write it down and I'll fix it later. But I like to stay in order. So the first thing I do when I write my book, before I write anything, I get my chapters down.
Okay.
I want to write what I'm going to talk about, so when I get a download, I know where to place it.
Gotcha.
Some people don't have their thoughts in order, so when they get a thought, they don't know where to put it. And if you don't write your thoughts down, they're going to go to somewhere else.
That is a fact.
So if you don't anchor your thoughts that come to you, they'll go to someone else. How many times have you seen something like, man, I had that idea.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't do nothing with it.
Right.
So it went to somewhere else.
And that's why me and my mom, we was talking about that. I told her, she was talking about these ideas and stuff, you know, and things we do. I said, it's not the first person who has the idea, it's the first person who acts on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were just talking about this like 2-3 days ago. Shout out, Mom, she know what I'm talking about. We was just talking about this 2-3 days ago. It's not the person who actually comes up with the idea, but the person who actually, reacts to it and makes an effort to make it happen.
That's everything, man. That's everything.
Yeah. So what number book is this?
This is actually book number 8. My first book was called The Enlightened Talk. It's a book of metaphysical spiritual poems that's guaranteed to titillate your frontal lobe. You know, I've been writing poems for years, and when we were moving about 10 years ago, my daughter found my poem book. And she came in the room, she was like, Daddy, these are really good. You need to get these published. I was like, I don't know nothing about publishing. I don't, she's like, no. You always talk about fight for your limitations. You get to keep them. You fight for your limitations, Daddy.
Right.
So when she threw that back at me, what I was giving her for years, I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I researched how to get self-published, how to write the book, all the stuff I did alone. I didn't ask anybody.
Right.
I just did it on my own, didn't tell anybody. Then boom, about 8 months later, I published my first book. And then after that, I wrote my second book, which was actually an Amazon bestseller called Poverty Consciousness. I was thinking about all the homies I grew up in the hood who embraced poverty consciousness unbeknownst to that they even knew they had poverty consciousness. Because I once had it. A lot of my homies did a lot of cursing, a lot of negative talk, surrounding themselves around a lot of negative people, and just didn't see themselves being great. So I wrote Poverty Consciousness to help people usurp their divinity, to help people understand, man, maybe I got poverty consciousness. And I put a ritual in there that I use, some divination in there that I use. And in this ritual, you take some ginger. You take a half a cup of ginger, shave it in a cup. You take a half a cup of honey, put it in a cup, and you put one teaspoon of orange zest in a spoon and put it in there and let that ferment for about 2 weeks in the refrigerator in a mason jar. You do this on the night of the new moon, and when the full moon comes, that's when you take a teaspoon every day for 40 days. Okay. And it will dissolve your poverty consciousness.
Okay.
And when I did that, I started writing books. I started investing, learning how to day trade, my YouTube page, everything just started to come to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That is very dope.
But again, my third book was called Wealth Consciousness. And that book, I have a rich one there that there's some mantras that you can use that kind of funnels the current of wealth to you. And I put that in my book. Once you memorize these mantras, your financial, it helps dissolve your negative financial karma.
Right.
My fourth book was called Dissolving Your Limitations, because jumping from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness is a daunting feat for most humans.
Okay.
So I had to write a book called Dissolving Your Limitations to teach them how to dissolve their limitations. Then I came out with Conscience Equals Choice, and then I started releasing some more of my poetry. I released a book called Seeds of Time, book number 6. Book number 7 was called Seeds of Time, Volume 2. And my last book is Divination.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. But like you said, when you talking about, poverty consciousness, wealth consciousness, it's like a mental shackle. You know what I mean? When you start, because now I look back, on how we grew up and how, things we didn't learn, how, things weren't taught. So you were always mental shackles. So you have to find that outlet if you want to do better and be better. You know what I mean? And it starts with you. You have to want it.
Yeah.
You have to want to be better. You got to plant that seed to be better. You have to understand, like you said, people, living in poverty or whatever, but you got to understand that there's more out there for you. You have to want it for yourself.
Yeah. And everything is a choice. The same way you choose to lose, you can choose to win.
That is a fact.
And that's just all to it. When you make a choice, hold yourself accountable to that choice. And that's just it.
Yep. One just takes a little bit more effort.
That's
it's
it.
easy to lose. All you got to do is just not put forth an effort, So, if you choose to lose, that's an easy route to go. But if you choose to win, you choose to better yourself, it's going to take effort. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some sacrifice. But at the end, you'll see the progress and you'll see the end results, man, once you change your mindset, man.
And winning is easy, family. Winning is easy. A lot of people try to recreate the will to win. All you need to do is go out there and find someone that's winning the way you want to win and mimic what they're doing on a small level. Stalk them from afar. Seeing what they did on their earlier stages when they were coming up. Don't try to mimic what they're doing now, because you're missing the road that it took for them to get there.
Right.
Start when they were like 15, 20 years ago. What books was they reading? What were they doing? Just mimic what they were doing on a small level. So hopefully you can align yourself with the same reservoir of wealth that they picked up on.
Yeah. And I'm also learning, just getting older, you are who you associate yourself with. You see what I'm saying? So once you start, getting around enlightened people like yourself, a lot of people, I'm getting around a lot of people with businesses, a lot of people, assets, real estate, things of that nature. That's when you start picking up on stuff. So you also have to surround yourself with that positive energy in order to gain it, like you said, for real.
Man, that's the biggest key that I can implore anybody to rewind this tape and just listen to what he just said. Because when you're around, you're align yourself up with people who aren't really winning, a little bit of their bubble of karma affects you as well. So you want to surround yourself around people whose bubble of karma is busy, they're productive, they're doing things, they're making moves, they're movers and shakers. And when you do that, you'll get a piece of the same thing that they're getting. It's just as simple as that.
That's it. And then you'll realize also those movers and shakers are really willing to share their knowledge. I'm starting to learn that, because they don't want to hold it in, you know what I mean? They enjoy passing that knowledge on, you see what I'm saying? And I seek it, you know what I mean? Even if it's in our culture, outside our culture, whoever it may be, you know what I mean? I seek a lot of different information. I call this brother here, you know what I mean? Sometimes, from time to time, we talk from time to time. If I got an idea, like, hey, which way should I go? Like, what you think here? What you think here? I always take his opinion in the high regards and high standards, because I know, he coming from a good place, and I know no ill intention, no malice, and no stuff like that. And I know he has my best interest, you know what I mean? I appreciate that, my brother.
Indeed, man.
For sure.
I'm real selfish, and I'm always finding people to compete with.
Right.
And I don't mind sharing what I have to be inspired by someone else's doing. Because I can do this, and then you do this and do that and do it better. I'm like, oh, I can't have Henry outdoing me. I love my brother. I'm going to support him, but I'm going to see if I can do it a little better.
Right.
And vice versa. He should be looking at me. We always subliminally challenging each other.
Facts.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
As long as you wanting him to do well as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's different between, I want to be I don't want to be the number one. I want to be the group winning. Because that's how you win more.
That's how you win
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You got a group of people headed in the same direction, you know, challenging each other to be better and to be greater. Yeah, that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
man. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create them circles of winners, man. You know, like I said, family don't necessarily got to be the blood, man. Family could be, you know, the people you create. You know what I mean? The people you run into. You know what I mean? Create your family. The people that you run into that don't mind, you know, sharing that knowledge with you. That don't mind, you know, wanting to see you win. That's family. That's what family means to me.
That's real, man.
You feel me?
Big difference between relatives and family, man.
Yes,
I got
sir.
a lot of relatives. Mama had 28 brothers and sisters.
Right.
I got a lot of family. None of them support me, though.
Right.
I got about a couple of them that do, but out of all the hundreds of people, they don't rock with me like that. They don't call me like that, but I rock with my family here. You know what I'm saying? Because when we talk, it's all love, it's all real. I ain't got to watch my back around them. I know he good. We Libra brothers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Come on now.
Yeah, October 18th, man. Y'all keep my
October
on your
18th.
calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Stand up. That day right there. 1 + 8 = 9. And 9 is the number of the humanitarian. We done been there and done that.
Yes,
we
sir.
born wise. And then that 1 in 10, you already know what that is. That's a leader energy. Whenever a zero follows the number, that's why we don't need a team. We roll alone. We like some Ronins out here. We don't need nobody.
That's it.
You know?
Just belief in yourself, man.
That's
You gotta
it.
believe in yourself. Because that, like I said, that starts with belief in yourself first. Cause ain't nobody else gonna believe if you don't believe in yourself, man. And I'm a winner, and I'm a thinker, and you know, that's why I associate myself with. Man.
That's it.
Yeah, you feel me? So back to the book though. Where can people copy this book? Where can people copy this book? How could they get in touch with your family? Like, you know what I mean? How could they get in touch? How could they go back and find all the books, all the well-written books that you wrote?
All my books are on Amazon. My government name is Christopher Huffman. So if you go on Amazon right now and type in books by Christopher Huffman, all my books will come up. Poverty Consciousness did so well. That book's also in Barnes and Noble and Books. But all my other books are on Amazon.com. And you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook under Chris Enlighten. You can subscribe to my YouTube page, The Enlightened Journey. That's THEE, Enlightened Journey. Got a bunch of subscribers. We're just out there winning, family. And my YouTube is I'm just sharing a little bit of anything that I've done to help me win. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm not a spiritual teacher at all. But what I do is I like to implore people to win. I want people to be their own guru. I don't want people to be like, I had a lot of people reaching out to me for all the answers. And I tell everybody, I don't want anyone surrounding around me with asking consciousness, where they're always asking me for the answer. I like to teach and implore people to find their own answer, and whatever answer they get, run with that. Because you have to start running with your own answers in order to start trusting yourself.
Right.
Because no one knows what's best for you but you. When you ask someone a question, all they're going to do is tell you what they think you need to hear. But that might not be the real answer. So start trusting yourself, and whatever answer you get is what you get.
That's it, man. I like that, man. You put that well said, well put, man. Well put.
Thanks, good brother.
So, are you already on your next book, man?
Yeah, I'm already on my next book. I haven't told anybody. I told you about it earlier, but I'm going to tell you now. It's called The Book of Gods.
Okay.
And I'm breaking down all the countries around the world. And when I started doing research, man, it was a lot more countries around this world than I thought of.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these names I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just breaking down. I looked up, really researched all the gods that they believed in, all the higher deities or higher forces that mold their cultures. And what I'm finding is, although there's a lot of different type of deities and gods out there, they're all the same, but just the different pantheons are just different cultures.
Right.
But it's the same reservoir of energy helping these people. They just give it different names.
Okay. Yep.
So that's the one reason why I started writing Divination, because through Divination, it kind of bled me into learning about the gods even more. So, yeah.
Good. Hell yeah. So, yo, family, make sure y'all go find this book. I just copped mine from my man.
Appreciate that, good brother.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. We support, man. I support winners. And, everybody got to eat. Everybody got to feed their family. So you make sure you all go out here and cop this, man. Y'all make sure y'all go out here and cop this. So one more time, though, my brother, before we go out, man, where can they find you at? How can they get in touch with you, man, on Facebook?
Sure. On Facebook and Instagram, I'm under Chris Enlighten. And on YouTube, my YouTube page is The Enlightened Journey. THE Enlightened Journey, or you can just Google Chris Enlightened. All my videos, all the talk shows, everything that I've done are out there. And again, all I'm doing is just sharing. I think humans have an innate ability to know when someone's speaking truth and when someone's lying to them.
Oh, yeah.
So one thing about me, I just speak from my experience. So I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just sharing my experiences. If it resonates with you, accept it. If it don't, still winning anyway.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, you can always pick up a jewel from anywhere. You know, pick up a jewel from here, pick up a jewel from there, and just blend it in with your own life. You know what I mean? If it works for you, cool. If it doesn't, throw it away. That's from anybody. You can, like you said, you can learn something. You can learn something from a wino, man. You can learn something from anybody, man. So you know what I mean? Always keep your mind open to new ideas and to better yourself, man.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you again, my brother.
You already know, man.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Winning.
So yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, y'all. Appreciate y'all family. I appreciate y'all tuning in and checking us out. And like I said, we're gonna work with some different styles, some different formats, and different ways to do things. And we're just gonna broaden our horizon, and broaden our minds. You know what I mean? And create that family. One love.
Peace.